Am I really big on you guys' screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna hide
That's
everybody
because
and bring everybody up
that's
You're the
one
because
by one.
spotlight.
Wayne didn't hear
Yeah.
you at first, so
So,
you're getting special
Treatment.
attention.
are you bringing me up first for the intro?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you up
Okay.
first. I'm gonna remove everybody first just to see what it shows, and then I'm gonna bring you up.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. On count three, Sparketh. 3, 2, 1, Sparketh.
Sparketh.
Yes.
All right, Becca. All right, bye, Becca. All right, bye, Amy. All right, and
Hi, everybody. We're so excited that you're joining us for our very first ever virtual event with Sparketh. We are celebrating our 7th birthday today, and we wanted to have a creativity celebration with you all. So we're just so excited. If you're here joining us, please drop a comment and let us know that you're here. Say your name, say how you're connected to Sparketh. We're just so excited to have you. So today you're going to be hearing from the founders. You're going to be meeting some really awesome professional artists from our team. We're going to have a free art class, and you get to use these Twizzlers, which I've been playing with, which are amazing. And there's going to be a student art show. So if you are here with us on Air Meet and you're going to be doing the student art show, please let us know. Just give us a little wave and let us know that you're here for that. And we're just really excited. Please keep all the comments really positive. We are a platform for kids, so we want to keep things family friendly and upbeat and positive. And we're just really excited to be connecting with you guys and celebrating creativity. So I'm going to turn it over to Sparketh's founders and owners, Tim and Dwayne.
what's going on, man?
Just trying to figure out how to color these. I'm not inspired.
Are you not inspired? Oh, I know what's happening. So, look, when you have a book that just needs some art, you just need to channel your creativity. You know how to do that?
I mean, you just
It's pretty simple. You get your creative spark. Okay, so just like this.
whoa,
You just put it in there.
whoa,
Check this out.
no way,
Yeah,
that's
seriously.
crazy. Let me try that.
Seriously. Yeah. All right. Let me check it out first. All right. So now that it's blank.
That's insane. All right. I can do that. So, you said get your creative spark.
Yes.
So if I just pull this out of that, I don't even need those anymore. And if I just
wait.
nice, okay. And so you're telling me that now when I flip it, what?
Look, Tim.
That makes no
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
sense.
whoa. No,
Literally,
Tim,
I did the same thing
no,
you
look,
did.
Tim, no, the thing is this.
What?
Look, when you
Do it again. Show me. Show me
Okay.
how you did it.
The problem, Tim, is that you're depending on the tools to be creative when creativity comes from the inside. Okay? See, look.
No way. That's crazy. Let me see that. I could do this. Let me get this.
Whoa,
All
whoa,
right.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Be careful.
Whoa.
Be careful. Be
Whoa.
careful.
Get it
Whoa,
back.
whoa. Okay?
All right.
Tim, be careful with this.
Dude, I got it.
Oh no. Oh no, not again. Not again. Where's my phone? Not again. Not again. This only happened one time in the history of creativity. I know.
That's tough. That was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
You did it though.
Nice.
Congratulations, man. But look, remember, y'all gotta be careful with creativity, okay?
Hey guys, I really love that advice about art is what is it. Art is what it is, and not what it's supposed to be. That's really great. So our next activity is our free art class. So I know some of you are really excited about that. You're going to need some supplies. Our art instructor and community host, Becca, is going to be showing you guys how to make some amazing line art with Twizzlers. And I've been eating these. So go ahead and grab those, your piece of paper, your pen, and your M&Ms, and get ready. I might want to show Becca. Becca, do you have anything you'd like to say about this activity? Can we switch it over to Becca really quick?
Hey, Katie, can you see me? Awesome. So this is actually an art activity I did with some students, and they absolutely adored it. So I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. It's a fun way to engage your creative side and, of course, your appetite as well. So instead of using traditional art materials like pen and paper only, you are going to get to throw in a little bit of a sweet treat. And we are using Twizzlers, and they are the peeling kind, the cherry ones that can peel apart from each other. And M&Ms, you can easily substitute this out with like Skittles or other round candies if you prefer those. But it's a really fun lesson for starting with the basics. Without line, you really can't make a whole lot of art. So Twizzlers peeling off from each other create all of these different lines of different lengths and variation. And I have a little lesson put together to show you guys some ideas on how you can create line art with these Twizzlers. And we have it pre-recorded and ready to go for you guys. So we'll go ahead and get that started.
Here are the materials needed for this activity. You will need a drawing pad and a pen, or a pencil or drawing item of some sort, and M&Ms and Twizzlers. Make sure you get the cherry peeling Twizzlers, since these are going to be our lines. I go ahead and I crack open the entire bag all the way down so I can see the entire Twizzler, and these are going to be our lines. We're going to need to start taking them apart. Right now, there are 9 lines on here, and I'm going to pull them in groups of 3 off of that main Twizzler so I can start breaking this apart. And I'm peeling slow because I don't want to rip them or break them. I'm trying to keep these lines as long as possible. And I'm going to start separating them out too to look at line thickness. So right now, keeping them in a group of 3, I'm getting some pretty thick, solid lines. But I could take these and I could break them up into even thinner lines. So I'm going to keep my group of 3. I'm going to take my other set. I'm going to pull it apart so there will be 1 line by itself and then 2 still grouped together. And then laying those down all side by side, you can see the difference in the thickness, going from thick all the way down here to our thinnest line. I also can take the lines and connect them together to make longer lines. So here I'm peeling these 2 apart. I'm going to connect them at the ends, give it a little bit of a pinch and a twist. And since these are pretty sticky, they're going to stick together pretty well. And now I have a longer line to work with. And this is a lot of fun when we go to start drawing out items, because you can create longer lines that twist and turn and curve, and you'll be able to draw more with your lines. So let's go ahead and get started. And let's remember that the technical definition for a line is a point moving through space in different pathways. So you may see zigzag, wavy, curvy, bumpy, thick and thin lines, of course, included too. So there are more than just straight lines to work with in our artworks. And our Twizzlers can be used to create all of these different types of lines. They're very flexible, very bendy, and easy to mold. And when you go to create your Twizzler artworks, remember that there is no right or wrong way to use your lines. Think about Piet Mondrian, who used very straight lines in his artwork. Quite different from Vincent van Gogh, who used very curvy, flowing lines in his artwork to create and show movement. And there's lots of different ways to create artwork with even just one line. These type of artworks are called continuous line drawings. Like you can see here, this entire drawing is made up of one line. The artist never picked up their pencil. Same thing here, it's all one connected line. But of course, not all drawings have to be connected. Like in this drawing of a dog, you can see the gaps where the lines are separated. It's made up of more than one line. Same thing here, you can see all the different lines that make up the sun rays. And I thought this would be a really fun one for us to do together. So go ahead, grab out a clean sheet of paper and your Twizzlers, and let's get started. The first Twizzler that I'm going to use is actually the one I had connected earlier. So I have the two pieces that are stuck together, connected at the ends, just kind of pinched and twist together. And I'm going to use this to create my first large ocean wave. And I have my paper turned horizontal, but you can absolutely turn it either way. Wherever I want that crest of the wave, I'm going to do a little bit of a pinch. And since these are kind of sticky, if you press it into the page, not so hard that it squishes it, but a little bit of pressure on it, it helps to stick it in place. And then I can start working with the curvature of my wave. And if the Twizzler is too long, just a little pinch will pull it right off. And I'm just going back and tweaking my wave, and oops, kind of pulled it off a little bit there. If that's okay, I can easily come back, pinch, and re-stick it back in place. These lines are very easy to move around, very forgiving. So I can really take my time to go back and start to shape the wave. So I'm really just making sure my top of my wave has a good crest and it has that fun flowy line on the side of the wave. So I have a scoop coming up to the crest of the wave and then a scoop going down from the bottom of the wave. And I'm going to use two more Twizzlers to make these same waves. I'm going to do the same technique, a pinch and a bend for the crest of the wave, and then flowy lines that come out from beside it. So I have a large one at the top, a medium one in the middle, and my last one will be a smaller wave. And each line I'm letting it just get a little bit smaller by breaking it apart into different pieces and bending it in half to start that crest, so I know that's the center of the line. So you can see the difference between the size from the top Twizzler all the way down to that little guy at the bottom. Next up, let's make the sun that is either rising or setting from our ocean waves, however you want to look at it. I like to think of mine as rising. So I'm creating a semicircle just by using my Twizzler and having a bend to it. So you can see it's starting to create that arch, that curve like a rainbow shape that disappears behind the wave. I wasn't really sure at first how I felt about it touching the wave, and then I considered giving it a little bit of some space. So I just pulled it off from the wave and gave it a little bit of a gap, curving it around. And this is nice because it also creates the illusion of a line, and that's called an implied line. So I have my sun set ready to go now. Let's give it some sun rays. And here I decided let's play with some line thickness. I kept two of the Twizzlers stuck together to create my first sun ray, and I'm going to add in some more of these around the sun, just in some random spots. So I'm going to use my fingers to press it down onto the paper just a little bit to make it stick, and then start scattering those around. So you can see that I have some thick lines now mixed with my thinner lines. But let's start adding in some thin lines in here too. You can have fun choosing wherever you want these lines to go, the length of them. I like to mix up some short ones with some long ones to really create a bright, twinkling sunset or sunrise. And once I have all the Twizzlers added in place to create my sun rays, I am also going to go back with my M&Ms and my pen. So I'm using two blue M&Ms to create the eyes for my sun, and my pen to draw in a happy face, as well as some little birds flying around to, really make it look like what you see at the beach. I always see lots of fun little birds flying out when I look out of the water, especially living here in Florida. And I also have a red colored pencil on hand too. So you know what the sun needs? Some cute red rosy cheeks. So I'm going to use just a little bit of some shading with my red colored pencil to give my sun a happy little face with some freckles. And how adorable is that? Now that we're feeling warmed up, let's jump into something a little more challenging. Go ahead and make sure you're breaking those Twizzlers apart into individual lines because we're going to create some portraits. That's right, self-portraits, maybe a portrait of a family member, looking at a picture of somebody. Let's make a portrait. You can do this. It's actually not that hard. I'm going to start with the shape of a face. So you can see I'm creating the cheeks down to the chin. And this is just to get me started so I can start placing in features. I'm going to start with the nose, and I'm using myself as a reference for this. I'm kind of doing a blind portrait because I'm not looking at myself. I don't have a mirror set up. I'm just kind of going off of what I know about myself. And I am manipulating these Twizzlers to create bends. So when I think about a nose, I think about the bridge that comes down to the ball of the nose. So I want to make sure I include that as well as some nostrils. And you can see that I've broken this little Twizzler up into a small piece, and to make sure it sticks on the paper, I'm giving it a little bit of a press and a wiggle to really make sure that those pieces aren't going to go slipping and sliding around, because after a while, of course, if they're not stuck down, you will see the Twizzlers like to kind of bend and float off the page on their own, so a little bit of pressure does help them to stick. And if you're doing a portrait too at the same time as me, feel free to follow along and copy some of the shapes that I'm doing or come up with your own ideas. I am creating some lips now, and remember I told you I was just getting that cheek and chin structure in there to get me started. I'm going to move that out of the way for now and come back to it. Another technique you can use to kind of thin out the Twizzler is a little roll in between your hands, helps to make it a little thinner. And I'm sticking these together to create some lips. And it's all about using those different types of lines. Curvy, wavy, bumpy. Here you can see at the top of my lips, I have a bumpy line. And then I'm adding back in my chin and the cheeks, and let's do some simple curves to make eyebrows. I'm going to do just like that, one little curved eyebrow, and let's match it up on the other side. Like little rainbows. Super easy to do, and you're already seeing that this face is starting to take shape. But of course, this face would not be a face without some eyes. So that's going to be my next step. And I like to use that continuous line idea to make my eyes shape. So it's kind of like I'm making the number 2 to create the eyelid, the eye, like the iris of my eye or the pupil. And then I leave a little hook coming off to the side to create eyelashes. I'm going to mimic that same shape and then flip it backwards so I have my other eye. Same thing, that continuous line all the way around, so I just have one line that creates my entire eye on each side. Now I'm going to add in an ear, so you can see I'm just using my Twizzler, bending and breaking it off as I need to twist and create one ear showing. I do always tuck my hair behind my one ear, so I'm going to let that ear show, but the other will be covered. So let's create some hair. I have slightly wavy hair, and I do often curl it, so I think I need to make sure these are some waves in here. I'm going to wave that Twizzler, curving it to make a wavy line, and then a little bit of a curl at the end to really help make it look like it is curly. And I'm going to start the other side as well. Again, don't forget you can stick and press those Twizzlers into each other to really help them stay, as well as pressing it onto the page. And I'm just going to keep going down and around this ear to create these waves coming from my hair. This is a fun technique you can do with a Twizzler as well, is roll it into a coil, a tight coil, kind of like a snail shell, and I'm going to use this to create earrings. I think that is so cute and so fun and easy to do. You could use this for hair barrettes. If you want to use this as part of the eye of your person, you could absolutely do that. That tight coil really helps to make a dark spot. And I'm going to make another one to make this more of a dangly earring. How fun is that? That looks amazing. And then I'm just going to use this last bit of time to just clean up my portrait details. And voila, you have a masterpiece. I hope you had fun creating yours too. And let's throw in another challenge. Maybe portraits aren't your thing. How about a line challenge? You can absolutely do this challenge by yourself, or if you have somebody in the house with you, have them help you out. Take any amount of Twizzlers they want and lay them down randomly on the page in any shape or design. They can leave the lines wavy, straight, curvy, totally up to them. And then it is your job to fill in the blank. So I took a second to think about, what do I see in these lines? And I saw a jellyfish. So I added in my little jelly details, of course threw in some M&Ms for some fun spots, and let's give a little bit of some details around it too, some bubbles, some little fish, and how fun and easy is that. Give this challenge a try by yourself. Lay down some random lines or have somebody challenge you. If you really enjoy the challenge, try this out with M&Ms too. You can use M&Ms to create dotted lines that go in any direction, straight, wavy, curvy, totally up to you. So try it out both ways. It's definitely a fun challenge to help you think outside the box and to help you make something really cool. And while we're using the M&Ms, my final challenge to you is start with a cluster of color. I laid out all of my green M&Ms and then I said, what could I turn this into? Also using my Twizzlers and also using my pen. I said, green, the shape's looking a little bit like a cactus. So I am tweaking those green M&Ms to make a cactus, and I'm going to put it in a little pot. So you're going to see me using my M&Ms, my Twizzler, and my pen to go ahead and finish filling in the details. This is definitely a fun way to make you think outside the box too. Gather up all those colors, drop them in a pile together, and think, how can I turn this into something else? And feel free to use all of your other tools. Remember, our goal for this is to use our different types of lines. There are absolutely endless possibilities to this, and before you clear off everything, maybe grab your pen and finish filling in those details around the edges just so you can keep the shape, since we're getting to the end and everybody is probably tempted to eat these like I was. It was so hard not to snack while I was creating. So finish filling in your little details. You have a really fun line drawing that you get to keep, and now you get to pig out.
Hi guys, I absolutely loved that tutorial. I hope you guys did too. There are so many awesome ways to be creative with all kinds of materials that you might have at home, not just art supplies, but things like food and things that really challenge you to think outside of the box. So thank you so much, Becca, for putting that together. If you've been doing this at home, or if you do this at home, we want to see. So don't throw it away. Don't eat it right away. I want you to take a picture of your art and upload it to social media on Instagram and tag us. It's at sparketh.com. The dot part is spelled out because we want to see your art, and we also want to pick some winners of some prizes. So over the next few days, over the next 3 days, we'll be picking 3 winners out of people who have shared your Twizzler art with us on social media. So please go ahead and do that. We cannot wait to see. Thank you for joining in on this activity. So I'm very excited to introduce some of the professional artists on our team. We have some super talented artists, and they're looking forward to connecting with you and answering some questions that you've had later on in this celebration. But right now, I just want to give them a chance to introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their art. Starting with somebody that you have probably seen on our Instagram and our TikTok channel. She's kind of the face of Sparketh on all of our social media channels, and we just are super inspired by her all the time. Amy. So I'm going to bring up Amy. Can someone bring up Amy? There.
Working on it. Can y'all see me?
I can see you.
Okay, cool. Hi
Okay.
guys. My name is Amy. I do most tutorials and videos for TikTok, reposted on Instagram. I'm 26 and I've been freelancing now almost entirely as an artist for almost 2 years. So if there's any questions y'all have about how to do that, I'm definitely working through that and can answer those. I specialize in almost every medium. You've probably seen like oil, acrylic, watercolor, gouache, digital art, animations. I just try to like dip my foot in everything I can. And then once I test out a medium, I like to incorporate it with other things and kind of blend them together. And that's just my personal style of learning. But everyone has their own thing that they're into. But it's nice because doing so many different things, I get to relate with a lot of y'all, whether it be digital or traditional or somewhere in between. So that's really exciting, and I really enjoy doing that. I also do mural work and public art. So if you want your paintings to be on a building or in a restaurant or something like that, I'm getting into that right now, so can definitely help y'all with some of those questions. And let me also show y'all a piece from when I was, I think about maybe 8 or 9, I think. Maybe a little bit younger than that. This is kind of how I started out. And I have probably 3 or 4 boxes of, let me show y'all. This is all from elementary school. This doesn't even cut half of it. So I drew a lot. It does not come naturally or easily, at least it didn't to me. So like practice was so insane. And then I'll show y'all something that I completed more recently. Oh, let me try to like get the glare off of it. We've got this. Thank you. This is an oil painting that I completed maybe a year or like a year and a half ago of a good friend of mine. So yeah, if that inspires y'all to keep at it and never quit, I don't know what will, because I didn't believe I could do anything like that, especially when I was younger. So I wish I could give my younger self like a pat on the back and a thumbs up, because if it's something you want to do, it's so worth it, and you got to keep at it because you'll amaze yourself. Anyway, that's my spiel. So thank you. I don't know how to change.
Hi.
Hi.
Amy, you are super inspiring. And if you guys don't already, please follow our TikTok account. Amy posts really cool stuff there several times a week, and it's always just really awesome tips, and they're quick and they're fun, and just learn all kinds of cool, crazy, fun art things. So go follow us on TikTok, Sparketh.com, and on Instagram, Sparketh.com, for more awesome tutorials from Amy. And we're going to bring up our next guest. And her name is Maria. Maria is our YouTube channel host here on YouTube. So if you subscribe, you're going to see some of her art. She's an amazing artist and just always doing amazingly awesome, beautiful work on here, and is super inspiring as well. So Maria, the stage is yours.
Great. Hi, everybody. So I would say my journey as an artist, I took an interest in art from really early on. I would say probably my biggest inspiration at that time was my older sister. And there's like a big gap between us. So she was like way older and I was just a little kid. And I remember I would see her drawing and doing these like wonderful drawings in her little notebook. And me being a little kid, I was like kind of nosy, and I was like looking through her stuff and like getting so like inspired. And my parents noticed. So I remember they put me in art classes, And from there on, yeah, my whole art journey has been like blossoming and I've been getting more better as an artist. But yeah, it started from little kid, and then I think I ended kind of taking classes in high school, and it was a really great experience. And I'll show you a piece that I did when I got it from my parents' house because they have like our old artworks hung up. So I asked them, I was like, how old do you remember that I did how old was I when I did this piece? And they said I think I was about 10, I want to say. But it was really cool. I remember my art teacher, she was so awesome, so sweet, and she brought in these fake plastic fruits, and she had whoever wanted to do it, they could paint a still life. And I did this one. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but yeah, I had painted this, and I set up the fruit how it is like this, and I painted that. And yeah, that's an old piece, and I really like that piece still today. And from now, like my current artwork, um, I'm not like a full-time artist. I'm an artist on the side and a teacher. I teach at this private like studio. But one of my recent works that I really love are like these two pieces. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but this one is this little narwhal kind of like floating in the sky, or like almost like jumping out of the water, kind of. And then I have this little kind of like balloon, kind of metallic looking animal, kind of just floating in this glittery sky. And I really love painting things like this, like fantasy, animals, princesses, like things like that. So as an artist, I just want to say I've definitely grown. And for any advice for you guys, you artists out there, don't give up. Don't ever give up. You will make tons and tons of progress. Trust me. But yeah, that is my spiel. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Love watching your art tutorials. You guys are probably subscribed if you're watching, but go ahead and subscribe.
Oh my god, I forgot to say this, but we
Go
recently
for it.
hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So yay.
Woo! Yay. Thank you for subscribing. And
Yeah.
if you don't know, Sparketh is an online resource for artists, for kids and teens specifically. And we have online art classes for kids and teens, but we also have free resources going out all the time via social media, YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, and our community. Our community is a free social network for kid and teen artists to connect. So we have a lot of free stuff going on all the time, and it's all for you guys. It's all for kid and teen artists. So you don't have to really do anything. You just follow us, and that's why we're here. We're here to provide art resources for you guys, and everyone on our team is super passionate about that. So speaking of the community, we're going to bring up our next guest. You just met her months ago. She was doing the art instruction video. She's been an instructor with Sparketh for a long time, and she's the host of our community. So I'm going to introduce Becca. Hand it over.
Hey guys. Thanks, Katie. Yes, I currently run Sparketh's community page, which is amazing. And if you are interested in getting connected with our community page, leave a comment in the chat below and we can definitely hook you up there. We have some amazing artists that are part of our community, and we do really fun challenges in the community that can win you some prizes. So definitely join. And I unfortunately am traveling at the moment. I am not in my studio, my home space, so I don't have physical artwork to share with you, but I will be posting some on the community page after this, so you can definitely pop in there and take a peek at some of the growth. But my name is Becca, and I am a full-time art teacher. I teach currently kindergarten through fifth grade, but I am pre-K through 12 certified, and I really do enjoy teaching all grade levels, but there is something just really special about elementary students that captured my heart, and I have been working with them for 6 years now. So I am full-time teaching, and I run the community page on the side, and honestly, it is really inspiring to see students of different ages getting to get in there and communicate with each other and share their tips and tricks. And of course, we love connecting all of our amazing Sparketh team members' creations, like our YouTube page and our TikTok page. They are so cool. But my art journey started when I was in elementary school. I have artists in my family that definitely inspired me to want to pursue this and see where it could go. But I would not consider myself to be one of those people that you could tell at a young age, like, wow, she's got like that art bug. I was a bit of a hot mess. I really liked just kind of putting color down on the page and seeing what happened. So my biggest advice to you all, and I say this to my students all the time because they'll say I'm not good. You've got to keep practicing. I knew that I had a passion for it, and it took work. So I did invest in taking classes and signing up for resources like the Sparketh entire program where they provide you with beginner, intermediate, and advanced lessons. That is so worth it. It really does help you hone in your skills. Without being involved in some of those things, I don't think I would be where I am today. So I definitely had that interest in art, but needed to grow on it. I needed some guidance. And after taking many courses and many classes and having a lot of one-on-one help from art educators in my path, I got to where I am today. And I do currently make art on the side as well with teaching. I've done anything from large-scale murals to small watercolors that I will sell off. I'm more of a commission artist at this point since I do put most of my time and my efforts into teaching art. There's something that just is really rewarding, getting to see the skills that you've acquired over time, and you get to share that knowledge with the youth. So it's really neat getting to see these students come into their own, and I appreciate getting to see the way that they just absorb information. But I definitely encourage everybody to stay persistent in your art career, and don't throw away any of your old artwork. Like I said, at the beginning of my art journey, I wasn't necessarily the most gifted, naturally talented student that created masterpieces. And I purged those a couple years ago. And I really regret it to this day because I would love to be able to look back and see my growth. So even if you are new into your art journey, hang on to everything you create and start sorting it by like the age that you're at, what mediums you're working with at the time, so you can really see that growth. And I think that's what's going to help kind of push and continue to try to, make a career out of art and to see if you can turn this into something full-time, or even if it's not full-time, like I'm not a full-time artist, I do commissions on the side. It could lead into something like graphic design or becoming a teacher or even working in animation. You never know. So definitely stay with it. I'm so grateful to be a part of Sparketh. You've probably seen my face if you have a Sparketh account. I did a whole portrait series with Sparketh back when I first started working with Tim and Dwayne, and that was so fun. And now I am all over the community page. So please join if you have not already, especially if you are under 18. That is our requirements for participating in our challenges, since we are very much here for inspiring our youth to get involved in art. So if you are interested in that, reach out to us. We will get you connected. And I'm so glad I got to chat with you guys. I feel like the Weather Channel now. Now back to Katie.
Hi. That was thank you, Becca. You're wonderful. We're so lucky to have you, not only to be an art instructor, but also to be there for kids in the community. She is just really encouraging, and she knows what she's about, and just a great person and teacher. So that's our team. We're all here for you. Like she said, you can feel free to reach out to us on social media. If you're wondering about art classes, if you're wondering about getting connected with our free community or anything like that, you can always just shoot us a question through Instagram. It's a good way to reach us, or on Facebook, just any way. So our last speaker for the artist kind of intro is somebody that you probably know. It's Dwayne, and he's the co-founder and owner of Sparketh, but he's also a professional artist. So we want to hear from him, of course. There you
All right, thanks.
Hey, everybody. If you had some trouble hearing that, then we might have been having some technical difficulties, but Dwayne has some amazing art. So if you have questions for him, please put that in on YouTube, and we will get back to you. He'll get back to you. Any questions about art? He's an amazing artist, very inspirational person. So thank you so much, Dwayne. And I just realized I never introduced myself. My name's Katie. I'm not a professional artist, but I am a creative person, and I'm constantly practicing art and learning, just like so many of our students with Sparketh. So I get constant inspiration from these guys. And it's so cool to hear from them. And we have some questions from you all, things that you wanted to know from a professional artist. So I'm going to be asking some questions from our team. And if you have a question, go ahead and pop it in on YouTube. We'll be looking out for that. I'm going to kind of pop back and forth. But anyway, I have a couple of questions that are kind of open for anybody on our team to answer. So if you want to answer that question, then we'll try and pull you up. If that's not working, then I'll go person by person. So one question that I think a lot of people want to know is how do I get better? And our artists kind of have talked about that a little bit already. But I wanted to specifically bring this question up for Amy because it's a question she gets a lot on her accounts and progress. So Amy, how do art students get better?
That's definitely a good question because I think people have different styles of learning, but one of the things I noticed when I was recently looking through all of my old work was that I was constantly inspired by other artists, mostly manga artists, but also things like TV shows where I would literally pause my TV and hold up a piece of paper and trace the characters when I was 9 or 10. And then over time that turned into me getting comfortable with the shape of characters and then drawing them myself by just looking at them. But I definitely went back and forth between tracing and drawing my own things, which is really taboo for some people, but at least for the way I learned, I think when I would do certain shapes, the way the professional artists did them and the way I would have done them if I was looking at them were completely different. So to just kinesthetically have that movement as if I was drawing like them was really helpful to me. But I say currently to get better as you're getting a little bit older is to constantly try to seek out new information and work on your own personal style. Because I get asked a lot, how do I find my style? And I think, I don't know if you can just choose one day to have a style. I think it kind of finds you based on the media that you intake. So when I was watching anime a lot, my style was very anime, And as I'm getting a little bit older and then being more involved in the fine art space, so many pieces that inspire me are paintings hanging in galleries and whatnot. So I go to art shows almost every weekend. I take pictures of photos and I always try to meet as many artists as I can and ask them questions about their mediums, which brands they prefer, why they use certain brands, what their processes are. And you can get so much information so quickly by just asking those questions to people because it takes years to find these things out on your own sometimes. And to just get an answer so fast from someone oh, I use this kind of spray paint because you can paint acrylic over it. And with other spray paints, it'll peel off. That would save me so much time and heartbreak. So those are my main things. And to draw, even when you don't feel particularly inspired per se, to just draw as something that you do, like brushing your teeth or, making your bed in the morning or whatever, to just put it into your day. And if you get bored, listen to something, watch a YouTube video and draw, or listen to a podcast and draw. You don't have to just sit alone and do it. It can be paired with something that you find entertaining. And then that can feed you, it can feed your inspiration. So, those are the tips I got. Back to you, Katie.
Thanks, Amy. That's amazing advice. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And I just realized our event, we only have a few minutes left. And I want to try and bring up Dwayne again. I know he's having some technical difficulties. So the next question is for you. How do you find motivation to keep practicing your art?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay, good, good. Um, okay, how do I find inspiration and motivation for art? Yeah, so inspiration is pretty much everywhere. A lot of times, me personally, I find inspiration from the things that I'm feeling, the things that are pondering on my mind that I simply just need to release or let go of. But other times, I find inspiration by simply just following like amazing artists like Amy, Marie, and Becca, and just like other artists on social media, so that my everything that I see is just really cool art that I'm seeing, like really neat styles. And then lastly, is simply just expanding my mind. And so the more you go explore and experience new things, the more mental tools you have to create essentially new things. A lot of art that I create typically has a message, like something that like I feel like I want to say, but I probably can't get it out in words. So I might paint it or create it. And so I kind of use art as a means of expression, and I know a lot of artists probably do as well. And so um, if you're feeling it, if you're feeling anything, then it can be expressed through art. And so really just dig into yourself and you'll find the inspiration in there. So let me bring back up Katie to close it out.
Hey guys. Yeah, I love that, Dwayne. And that's such an important reason for kids to create too, for kids and teens who are often going through things that they don't know how to process or how to talk about with words. Art can be such a therapeutic thing for kids. And we've shared a lot about that on our social media platforms too. But I know we have more questions, but we are running out of time. So I just want to share, I'll share your questions with the artists on our team, and we will try and post some answers on social media over the next few days and get back to you that way. Speaking of social media, we really want to see your artwork. We really want to see that Twizzler art that you did, and we want to see your art contest entries. So even though we're out of time, I really want to encourage you guys to share those and tag us. You can tag us on Instagram, you can tag us on Facebook, or you can, if you're part of the Sparketh community, you can share it there, or you can join the Sparketh community and share it there. So we're going to give you guys 1 week to share those entries with us, and we'll be sharing them on social media, and people will vote. And we're going to have 3 prizes for the art contest and 3 prizes for the social media contest. So please share those. Please tag us. We want to see. Just really excited to connect with you guys, and we really enjoyed getting to be together and kind of let you know who we are too as a team. We're a small team, and we care a lot about creativity and a lot about you. So just thank you so much. Do y'all want to wave bye? Can we pull all of us up here? Yes, age limit. The community is for kids, 18 and under. That's what we're here for. We're really here for kids. So there is an age limit on that. Thank you, Becca, for reminding me. Okay. Hey, everybody. We're like the Brady Bunch.
Someone asked on YouTube, the art contest, is it of the self-portrait?
That's a really important question. Thank you, person on YouTube. How did I forget that? The art contest, we're all about growth. I sent out newsletter, but I should have said it here. We want to see an old piece of art and a recent piece of art. We want to see how you've grown as an artist. So just like some of our artists here have shown old artwork and new artwork, or talked about their old artwork and new artwork, that's what we want to see. We want to see how you've grown. So for your entry, post a photo of an old work of art and a new one and tag us, and we will see it. That's all you have to do.
Awesome. Okay.
Right.
All right, so I guess we can all wave goodbye, and then we're gonna play this like 2-minute video that shares a little bit about Sparketh's work.
Yes. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right.
Education is dying. But these guys are doing something about it, and so can you. This is Dwayne and Tim. They're childhood best friends with a simple dream: to make quality art education available to every kid on the planet. So they started Sparketh, an online art school for kids of all ages and ability levels, so any child can access art education from anywhere. But it didn't happen overnight.
Yo, what's up, y'all? So we're at this expo.
Dwayne and Tim spent 6 years attending hundreds of homeschooling conferences and expos around the world, learning from real parents and real kids what they want from their art education. Which is why Sparketh has easy-to-use tracks that appeal to a variety of student interests, like drawing animals, learning elements of design, and art style self-portraits. Within each of these tracks, students will find dozens of courses from beginner to advanced difficulty that teach principles, tips, and well-founded techniques of art and design from passionate and engaging art teachers. Want to pick and choose? Students can browse through hundreds of courses and sort based off of difficulty, length, materials needed, or instructor. Learn color theory and how to mix paints. Use perspective in your drawing. Sketch figures and learn from art history. Or even do a little baking. We call that culinary art. All from a variety of Sparketh instructors across the country who upload new courses every week. When you're finished with your work, upload your art to a gallery of thousands of student creations. Dwayne and Tim want to make Sparketh available for everyone, so the first 30 days are free. On them. Thanks, guys. Art education doesn't have to be just a dream for these two friends. It can be your dream, too. Go to Sparketh.com and begin your first art class today.